An old lady told me a story when I was about 16 or 17. It's not the story Theotis got, but I know some of y'all know Theotis. But the story she told me, she said, you know, as humans, we have it wrong. And I was asking her, what do you mean we have it wrong? And she said, you know, when someone passes, we cry. And when a baby is born, we rejoice. But it should be reversed.
All right.
She said, when a baby is born, we should cry because of the trials and tribulations that they are born into.
All right.
And when someone passes, we should celebrate because they're going home.
All right.
She said, because we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience.
All right. All right.
And which leads me to my point. Weep not, for she is not dead. She's resting in the bosom of Jesus. Heartbroken son, weep no more. Left lonesome daughters, weep no more. Grief-stricken family, weep no more. She's only just gone home. Last Tuesday afternoon, God was looking down from his great high heaven, looking down on all his children. When his eye fell on Mama Barbara, tossing on her bed of pain. And God's big heart was touched with pity, with the everlasting pity. And God sat back on his throne, and he commanded that tall, bright angel standing at his right hand, call me death. And that tall, bright angel cried out in a voice that broke like a clap of thunder, call death, call death. And the echo sounded down the streets of heaven till it reached the way back in that shadowy place where death waits with his pale white horse. And death heard the summons, and he leapt on his fastest horse, pale as a sheet in the moonlight. Up the golden road, death galloped, and the hooves of his horse, it struck fire from the gold, but they didn't make no sound. Up death rode to the great white throne and waited for God's command. And God said, go down, death, go down. Go down to Longview, Texas, down in Gregg County, and find me Sister Barbara. For she's born to burn in the heat of the day. She's laid alone in my vineyard. She's tired and she is weary. Go down, death, and bring her to me. And death didn't say a word, but he loosened the reins on his pale white horse and clapped the spurs to his bloodless sides, and up and out he rode through heaven's pearly gates, past suns and moons and stars on death road, leaving the lightning's flash behind. Straight on down he came while you could watch around her bed. She turned her eyes and looked away. She saw what you couldn't see. She saw old death coming like a falling star. But he didn't frighten Mama Barbara. He looked at her like a welcome friend. And she smiled and said, I'm going home. And she closed her eyes. And death took her up like a baby. And she lay in his icy arms. But she didn't feel no chill. And death began to ride again. Up beyond the morning star. Out beyond the evening star. Into the glittering light of glory. On to the great white throne. And there he laid Mama Barbara on the living breast of Jesus. And Jesus took his own hand and wiped away her tears and smoothed the furrows from her face. And the angel sung a little song, and Jesus rocked her in his arms and kept her saying, take your rest, take your rest, take your rest. Weep not, for she is not dead. She's resting in the bosom of Jesus.